I have just watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, so here's my review. Spoilers ahead. Before I start talking about what happens in the movie, I want to first talk about the Marvel Studios intro we got for this film. I really liked this intro. It was kinda similar to what we got in Wakanda Forever. I really loved that they brought back the intro, because the MCU hasn't used their intro since Deadpool and Wolverine. Now about the film. This movie shows the aftermath of No Way Home, where Peter is now living alone. He's committed to being Spider-Man full-time. It shows him visiting Aunt May's grave multiple times, and leaves flowers. But we don't see where does he work or how is he making money. Peter had created an AI for himself, just like Tony Stark made Jarvis. I think that Tom Holland gave his best portrayal of Spider-Man and Peter Parker in this film. The web swinging and visuals were so much better than all the past Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. We got some scenes referencing to past Spider-Man films, like when Spider-Man saves a kid, referencing to the scene in Spider-Man 2 when Tobey Maguire saves the kids from being hit by a truck. We got some callbacks to previous MCU movies, like No Way Home and Infinity War. Peter gets organic webs because his DNA is mutating. He becomes stronger, faster, more durable, and his spider sense becomes more enhanced, but he doesn't turn into Man-Spider. I really like how Peter is very strict about revealing his identity, showing that after the events of No Way Home took a toll on him. You can tell that the writers took inspiration from Insomniac's Spider-Man. We see Spider-Man is working with the police. He's made his own web gadgets like his web grenades, and the scene where he's webbing the hand. We do get to see a lot of different villains, such as Tombstone and Scorpion, but they don't really appear that much in the movie, which I do understand because they didn't want to take the focus off of the main villain. The character that Sadie Sink is playing in this film is Jean Grey. At first, we see her as this villain, but then later, we find out that she's not a villain. She just wants to find her sister from the true villains, the Department of Damage Control. Sadie Sink plays a very good Jean Grey. We see the return of Bruce Banner and what he is now doing after Endgame. And after so many years, we finally get to see the return of Savage Hulk. The fight against Spider-Man and Hulk was very cool. I feel like they just added Bruce Banner in this film just to bring back Savage Hulk, because we don't see much of the character other than the ESU scene and the fight scene. We do get a few scenes of Yelena Belova. We also see the return of Ned and MJ, and how they've been living after No Way Home. MJ eventually finds out the truth. I loved how she found out, how she reacted, and how she responded. Not in anger that Peter didn't tell her, but saying that she doesn't love him back because she doesn't remember anything. In the end, we see Punisher try to shoot Jean Grey, but Peter jumps in to save her, and he gets shot in the back. Then Punisher takes him to the hospital, and the people of New York are worried about Spider-Man. Peter eventually gets better. Frank finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Jean leaves New York, and Peter reconnects with Ned. We get one credit scene in this. It shows the Spidey tracker tracking another Spider-Man from another universe. Now about the suit. This is probably the most comic-accurate Spider-Man suit we have ever gotten. You can tell that the creators took inspiration from both the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield suits. One thing that I didn't like was that we didn't get that much of an explanation for where Spider-Man and Punisher were during the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. This movie mainly tries to focus on setting up what's next in Tom Holland's Spider-Man journey. Overall, the movie was very good. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.